I mentor Jacob. Prepositions are essential because they provide clarity and coherence, ensuring that the intended meaning of the sentence is conveyed. However, they can be quite challenging, especially when used in idiomatic and context-dependent expressions. In this video, we will discuss the different purposes of prepositions and the different points of confusion among prepositions and prepositional phrases. Prepositions are words that show the relationship between a noun or pronoun and other parts of the sentence. Their purpose can be to indicate direction, location, time, cause, manner, or possession. For example, she is in the room. This preposition, in, dictates location. Then, we will meet at 5 p.m. This preposition at indicates time. And he traveled by train. This preposition by indicates manner or means. Let's discuss prepositional phrase. This is composed of a preposition and the object of the preposition. For example, she sat on the chair. On the chair is our prepositional phrase. On is the preposition and the object of the preposition is the chair. Its function can be to act as an adjective or an adverb. For example, the book on the table is mine. So, on the table is a prepositional phrase because it describes the noun book. So, it functions as an adjective. While she ran to the park is a prepositional phrase that acts as an adverb because it modifies the verb ran. Prepositions can be tricky, especially in its idiomatic usage and when it has multiple meanings. Okay, so for example, the idiomatic usage, it has no consistent rules and often learned through practice, such as good at math but interested in music. So we have here at and in, which can be quite confusing. But it can be learned through practice. So you need to widen your vocabulary when it comes to idiomatic usage of prepositions. Multiple meanings can also be confusing because the context changes meaning. For example, at the corner pertains to location, while at work pertains to activity. So you need to practice prepositions. We have preposition categories by function. First is the preposition of time, which indicates when something happens. For example, at p.m. on Monday or in December. We also have the preposition of place, which indicates location or position. For example, in the room, on the table, or at the corner. We also have preposition of direction or movement, which indicates motion toward or away. For example, to the park, into the room, and from the house. We also have the preposition of agency, which indicates the doer of an action. For example, the book was written by her. So by her is our preposition. We also have the preposition of instrument or device, which indicates tools or the means used. For example, with a pen or by train. Additionally, we have the preposition of reason or purpose, which indicates cause or intention. For example, for your success and because of the train. We also have the preposition of connection, which indicates association or relation. For example, with my friend or about the book. We also have here the preposition of origin, which indicates the starting point. For example, from the village and of Italian descent. Let's discuss the specific uses of common prepositions. We have here in, on, and at. We use in when we have enclosed spaces, months, years, or periods. For example, in the room and in 2023. We will use on if we have surfaces and specific days or dates. For example, on the table and on Monday. We will use at for address, precise locations, or times. For example, at the corner and at 8 p.m. Let's have another set of commonly used prepositions. From, for, and to. From is used to indicate origin. Example, from Manila. For indicates purpose or benefit. For example, for the team. And to indicates direction or recipient. For example, to the door or to my friend. Another set of commonly used prepositions include into, about, of, and with. Into, we can use this for movement toward the interior. For example, into the box. About, we will use this for the subject of something. For example, about the movie. Of is used to express possession or part of something. For example, a piece of cake. Lastly, with is used as an accompaniment or means. For example, with my brother and with a spoon. We have prepositions with multiple categories, so we need their context. their context matters. For example, with can be about connection or instrument. If about connection, this is an example. She works with passion. And an example for the instrument use of with is she cut it with scissors. Another one, by, it can be about agency or means. Okay, for agency, the book was written by her. So this is a preposition. And they traveled by train. So this is a preposition of means. This time, let's discuss the commonly confusing phrasal verbs. So this is fun because we commonly confuse them. For example, get on versus get by. Remember that we use get on to board or to make progress. For example, get on the bus. While get by, we use this to manage or to survive. For example, I can get by on little sleep. Next, fill in versus fill out. So this is relevant in filling the forms. So is it fill in or fill out? Fill in, this is used to write in blanks or to substitute. For example, fill in the form. While fill out, this will be used if we need to complete fully the form or to grow physically. For example, fill out the survey. Another confusing pair of phrasal verb is into and into. We use into to express motion or transformation. For example, she walked into the room. While we use into when combining two separate grammatical functions. For example, she went in to grab her book. Another confusing pair is die of versus die from. Die of is used to express direct cause. For example, he died of a heart attack. While die from is used to express indirect or external cause. For example, she died from injuries in the accident. So it is an external cause. Let's apply and practice. Okay, so if you want to apply what we have learned, kindly pause the video, then we will discuss the answers. For the first question, she agreed blank the proposal. The answer is 2, because agree with is for people or ideas, while agree to is for plans or proposals. In our sentence, we're talking about a proposal. For the next question, she dropped blank the documents at the office. So the answer is of, because drop by means to visit a place, while drop off means to deliver or leave something. And in this question, we are dropping a document, so we need to use drop off. For the last question, he set blank for the airport. The answer should be of, because set up is to arrange or organize, while set off is to start traveling. In this context, he is traveling, so we need to use set off. That's it for prepositions and common verb plus preposition pairs. Kindly comment down below if you have questions, and our mentors will reply to you. See you on our next language proficiency episode.